We're going deep into energy.
Oh, wow.
But the twist is, our main source is, get this, a children's book.
Interesting.
Yeah, you wanted to learn about energy saving, and, well, I found this book that breaks it all down, and it's actually really insightful.
Sounds fun.
Sometimes going back to basics can really spark some interesting thoughts. So are you ready to see what this kid-friendly guide has to offer?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay. So this book starts by taking us back in time.
Oh.
Yeah, like way back to life before electricity. Imagine, like, pitch black streets. Everyone just huddled around fireplaces for warmth and light.
Wow, no streetlights.
No streetlights, no Netflix.
And definitely no midnight snacks.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine trying to get any work done by candlelight?
Oh, it's fascinating how this book uses that historical lens. It really makes you appreciate how much electricity has transformed our lives.
For sure. And I mean, think about the economic impact, too.
Huge. The book even mentions the light bulb, and it made me think about how that one invention led to like a whole new era,
Totally.
an era of productivity and innovation.
I mean, we basically illuminated the world,
We did.
and it unlocked, like, possibilities that we couldn't have imagined before.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the book does this clever thing. It throws us into, like, the total chaos of a power outage.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
Blacked out TVs, appliances on strike,
Oh, no.
and this unsettling image of elevators stuck in skyscrapers.
Oh, that's scary.
It's a real wake-up call.
It really is. The book uses the term electricity breakdown. And it got me thinking, are we, like, as a society facing an energy breakdown if we don't address our, reliance on these finite resources?
Oh, that's deep.
It is, isn't it?
Okay. But speaking of how electricity actually works, I love the way this book explains electric current.
Okay, how so?
It uses this analogy of a stream of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can picture it like electrons are flowing through a conductor, like a wire.
That's a really helpful visual for understanding the basic concept, but, since you're already familiar with the basics, we can take it a step further.
Okay.
Think about the material of the conductor, right? Like copper. Copper's fantastic, but materials like wood or rubber, they impede that flow.
They do.
And that difference, that's what we call resistance.
So some materials are like superhighways for those electrons,
Exactly.
while others are more like, I don't know, dirt roads.
Perfect analogy.
Okay, so now let's talk about how this electron highway actually gets powered up. We're talking about electricity generation.
Okay.
The book uses this example of, you remember those, a bicycle dynamo.
Oh, yeah, I remember those from when I was a kid.
Right. They're a classic example to illustrate the core principle. You need a coil, a magnet, and this rotary motion to generate electricity.
Right, but the source of that motion can be anything, really.
Yeah, it can.
And like, on a bicycle, it's your leg power, obviously.
Yeah.
But on a larger scale, I mean, it could be burning coal or harnessing the wind,
So whether it's a giant power plant
Yeah,
or my old bicycle,
it all comes down to the same principle.
it does. It's converting some form of energy into electrical energy.
Exactly.
Okay. So then the book takes us on this journey, tracing, like, the path of electricity from the power plant
Oh, cool.
through those massive high voltage lines all the way to our homes.
I see. The book actually mentions the dangers of high voltage,
It does.
It reminded me of those warning signs you see near power lines.
Yeah.
But it also brings up transformers.
The transformers.
Which are super important for, making that high voltage electricity safe for us to use.
Right. Like, without transformers, we wouldn't be able to power our homes without.
Or we're getting fried.
Exactly. So those transformers, they're like the unsung heroes of the electrical grid.
They are.
They're quietly working behind the scenes to keep our lights on. And speaking of keeping the lights on, the book tackles the big question of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And it's pretty blunt about it. It calls the idea that they'll last forever nonsense.
Wow. I appreciate how straightforward the book is about this. I mean, fossil fuels are finite resources.
They are.
We can't ignore that reality.
We can't. And you, with your interest in mentioned listeners' specific interest related to energy, I mean, you understand this better than most, right? How do we balance our current energy needs with the need to transition to more sustainable sources?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a balancing act for sure,
It is.
between meeting those demands and making sure we have a planet to live on in the future.
Exactly. So what are the alternatives? Well, the book mentions nuclear power.
Nuclear power.
It even shows, like, the symbol for atomic energy,
Mm.
but it also points out the dangers of radiation.
Right.
and that long-term challenge of radioactive waste.
Yeah, nuclear power is a complex issue.
It is.
I mean, on one hand, it's this carbon-free way to generate large amounts of electricity.
It is.
But the risks associated with accidents, I mean, think about Chernobyl and the long-term storage of that waste. I mean, these are major concerns.
Definitely.
It's a trade-off with huge stakes.
It is. The book presents it as a potential solution, but it definitely acknowledges those risks and challenges.
Right.
And then it gets to what I think we're all excited about.
What's that?
Renewable energy.
Ah,
Wind, water, solar, biomass.
love it.
The book actually says, quote, "The future belongs to renewable energy."
It does.
It does. And honestly, I mean, who wouldn't want a future powered by clean energy?
For sure. The book's enthusiasm is contagious.
It is. I remember attending a conference on solar technology a few years back.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just inspiring to see the advancements, like the rapid advancements in that field.
Yeah,
The efficiency of solar panels just keeps improving, and the costs are dropping,
they are.
which is making them more accessible than ever.
Absolutely. That's what makes me optimistic.
Yeah.
You're seeing real progress in these technologies, making them a viable alternative,
Probably.
to those fossil fuels.
Right. But the book also acknowledges that we're not quite there yet.
Right. We still face challenges, in terms of storage and grid integration,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with intermittent sources
Yeah.
like the solar and wind.
Yeah.
But the momentum is building.
It is.
And the book seems hopeful that we can overcome these challenges, with continued innovation and investment.
Yeah, I agree with that. It feels like we're on the cusp of a real energy revolution.
It does.
And that's exciting.
It is.
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
what can we do, like on an individual level?
Right.
Well, the book shifts gears here
Okay.
and dives into some really practical energy-saving tips, things we can all do, like at school and at home.
I like it.
Yeah, and this is where the book gets really practical and empowering.
How so?
It's not just about understanding the science of energy.
Uh-huh.
It's about taking action.
I see.
Like something as simple as switching to LED light bulbs.
Yeah.
That can make a real difference.
Big time. They're so much more energy efficient compared to those, traditional incandescent bulbs.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just about the type of bulb, but like our habits too.
Right.
Turning off lights when you leave a room, unplugging devices
Yeah.
when we're not using them.
Those small actions add up.
They do. The book even suggests creating an energy patrol at school
Oh, wow.
where kids can identify areas where energy is being wasted
I love that idea.
and come up with solutions. It's like turning energy saving into a fun challenge.
It is.
And who knows, maybe it'll inspire some future energy innovators.
Right. Exactly.
The book also mentions raising money through energy saving to buy something for a recess.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they don't specify what that something is, but it's a pretty clever way to incentivize kids to get involved.
It is. It taps into that sense of community and shared goals.
For sure. And let's be honest, we could all use a little incentive to be more mindful of our energy consumption, right? Even as adults. The book goes on to highlight the importance of insulation and maximizing appliance efficiency.
Makes sense.
It even suggests using cold water for laundry whenever possible.
Oh, interesting.
I have to admit, I'm guilty of always using warm water.
Oh,
Maybe it's time to switch things up.
maybe so. It's all about making those, small adjustments that collectively have a big impact.
They do.
Speaking of impact, the book wraps up with this DIY project.
Okay.
It really brings the concept of energy generation full circle,
Oh, what's that?
building a water mill.
Now, this is what I call hands-on learning.
I know, right? It's one thing to read about how it generates power, but it's another thing entirely to build one yourself.
Exactly. It allows you to see, like firsthand, how the flow of water can be harnessed to create energy.
It does.
It's a tangible way to connect with the principles we've been discussing.
It is.
The book gives you step-by-step instructions.
Yep.
It even encourages, like, experimenting with different designs to see what works best. It's fantastic for sparking creativity and a deeper understanding of energy.
I agree. And it goes beyond just the practical knowledge, right? Like
Right.
building a water mill fosters this sense of wonder and appreciation for the natural world
Totally.
and how we can work with it to generate energy.
It's like the book is saying, look, energy is all around us. We just need to figure out how to harness it in a sustainable way.
Exactly.
And that's a powerful message to leave readers with, especially young minds that'll be shaping the future of energy.
I agree.
The book doesn't just stop at the instructions for the water mill, though.
What else does it say?
It provides a glossary of key terms related to energy,
Oh, that's handy.
which I think is really helpful.
Yeah.
It's like a mini energy dictionary.
Nice.
Perfect for those moments when you come across a term you're not familiar with.
It ensures that, everyone's on the same page and can understand the language of energy.
They even include links to their YouTube channel,
Oh, cool.
their blog and newsletter, which is fantastic for anyone who wants to dive deeper.
I love that.
It's like they're building a community around energy awareness,
That's awesome.
inviting everyone to join the conversation and be part of the solution.
It's great that they're doing their part to educate and inspire.
They are, and they're doing it in a way that's both informative and engaging.
Absolutely.
The book is packed with, vibrant illustrations, diagrams, and even a touch of humor,
That's fun.
which makes it a joy to read for both kids and adults.
It really proves that learning about energy doesn't have to be dry or boring.
It doesn't.
It can be an adventure
It can.
filled with discovery and, yes, even a few laughs along the way.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener?
I think the takeaway is that even a children's book can spark some really insightful conversations
I agree.
and inspire action.
It's a reminder that we can learn from anywhere
We can.
and anyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes the simplest explanations can lead to really profound understanding. For sure. This deep dive has been all about exploring those fundamentals of energy,
Yes.
the challenges we face,
Yeah.
and the exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
Totally.
And we've done it through the lens of a children's book, which I think speaks volumes about the power of clear communication and engaging storytelling.
Absolutely. It also highlights that even though this is a complex topic, learning about energy shouldn't be intimidating.
It should.
It can be an adventure, just like this book makes it out to be.
And it's an adventure we all need to be a part of.
We do.
You, with your interest in mention listeners' specific interests related to energy, you're already ahead of the curve.
For sure. But we all have a role to play in shaping a sustainable energy future.
Exactly. This deep dive has equipped you with a solid understanding of how energy works,
It has.
where it comes from,
Yeah.
and how we can use it more wisely.
Absolutely.
Now it's about taking that knowledge and putting it into action.
You got it.
What really struck me was that idea of an energy patrol from the book.
No.
I mean, why not apply that concept to our own lives?
I love that. We could be our own energy patrols.
We could.
Constantly looking for ways to reduce waste and make smarter choices.
Whether it's advocating for renewable energy in your community,
Yes.
or just making a conscious effort to conserve energy at home, every action counts.
It does. And remember, it's not just about saving money on our energy bills.
Right.
It's about preserving our planet,
Yeah.
for future generations.
For sure. This brings us to that thought-provoking question
Okay.
the book subtly raises. What role do you want to play in shaping the future of energy?
Good question.
Will you be a passive consumer,
Right.
or will you be an active participant in creating a more sustainable world?
It's a choice we all face.
We do?
And the answer is in our hands.
It is. This children's book has given us a really unique perspective.
It has.
A reminder that complex issues can be broken down into, understandable concepts,
They can.
and that even small actions can create a ripple effect.
Absolutely. And sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected sources.
Like a children's book about energy.
Exactly. Who would have thought?
It just goes to show that learning is a lifelong journey, and it can be fun
It
and engaging no matter where it comes from.
I agree.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of energy,
Yeah,
I want to leave you with a sense of hope and empowerment.
I like that.
We have the knowledge, we have the technology,
We do.
and we have the collective power to
Yeah.
create a brighter,
Yes.
more sustainable future.
We do. Keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep those energy-saving ideas flowing.
And who knows, maybe you'll even be inspired to build that water mill in your backyard.
Now, wouldn't that be a conversation starter?
It would. Until next time, stay curious.
And stay energized.
So it really does feel like we're on this edge of a real energy revolution.
It does.
And that's, that's exciting.
It's super exciting.
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
what can we do? On a personal level,
Right.
the book, it kind of shifts gears here.
Oh,
And
okay.
it goes into some really practical energy-saving tips. Things we can all do at school, at home.
Awesome.
This is where it gets really practical and empowering.
How so?
Well, it's not just about understanding the science.
Mm.
It's about actually taking action.
I see.
Something as simple as switching to LED light bulbs
Right.
that can make a difference.
It can. They're way more energy efficient, compared to the old incandescent bulbs.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just about the bulb itself, but like our habits.
Our habits, yeah.
Turning off lights when we leave a room,
Yeah.
unplugging devices when we're not using them.
Exactly.
These little things add up.
They really do. The book even suggests, like, creating an energy patrol at school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where kids can, like, find the areas where energy is being wasted
I love that.
and come up with solutions. It's turning, like, energy saving into a fun challenge.
It is.
And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire some future energy innovators.
For sure. For sure.
The book also mentions raising money through energy saving to buy something for recess.
Really.
They don't specify what that something is, but, you know, it's a pretty clever way to incentivize kids to get involved.
Definitely. It's like tapping into that sense of community
Yeah.
and shared goals.
We could all use a little incentive to be more mindful of our energy consumption.
Oh, absolutely. Even us adults.
The book then goes on to highlight the importance of insulation
Okay.
and, you know, maximizing appliance efficiency.
Makes sense.
It even suggests using cold water for laundry
Really?
whenever possible. I got to admit, I'm guilty of using warm water always.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's time to switch things up.
Maybe so. It's all about those small adjustments, that collectively have a big impact.
They do.
And speaking of impact,
Yeah.
the book wraps up with this DIY project.
Oh, cool.
It really brings the concept of energy generation full circle.
What is it?
Building a water mill.
Okay, now that's what I call hands-on learning.
It is, right. It's one thing to read about it, but it's another to actually build one.
For sure. This lets you see, like firsthand, how the flow of water can be harnessed to create energy.
Right.
It's a tangible way to connect with, like, the principles we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
The book, it gives you step-by-step instructions,
Yes.
and it even encourages, like, you to experiment with different designs to see what works best.
Love that.
It's great for sparking creativity and a deeper understanding.
And it goes beyond just the practical knowledge, too, right?
Exactly.
It fosters this, like, sense of wonder and appreciation for nature
It does.
and how we can work with it to generate energy.
It's like the book is saying, hey, energy's all around us. We just got to figure out how to harness it in a sustainable way.
Exactly.
And that's such a powerful message to leave readers with, especially young minds.
Especially them.
They're the ones shaping the future of energy, right?
They are.
And the book doesn't just stop at, like, the instructions. It provides a glossary of key terms related to energy,
Oh, that's cool.
which I think is really helpful.
It is. It's like a mini energy dictionary.
Right. Perfect for when you come across a term you're not familiar with.
You make sure everyone's on the same page and can understand, like, the language.
Even include links to their YouTube channel,
Cool.
their blog and newsletter,
Oh, wow.
which is great for, you know, anyone who wants to dive deeper.
Awesome.
So it's like they're building this community
Yeah,
around energy awareness,
Yeah.
inviting everyone to join the conversation and be part of the solution.
It's awesome that they're doing their part to educate and inspire.
And they're doing it in a way that's both informative and engaging.
Yeah.
The book is packed with, like, vibrant illustrations, diagrams, and even some humor,
That's great.
which makes it a joy to read for kids and adults.
It really proves that learning about energy doesn't have to be dry or boring.
It doesn't.
It can be an adventure
It can.
full of, discovery and even a few laughs along the way.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you, our listener?
Well, I think the takeaway is that even a children's book can spark some really insightful conversations.
I agree.
And inspire action.
It's a reminder that we can learn from anywhere
We can.
and anyone, and sometimes the simplest explanations can lead to a really profound understanding.
This deep dive has been all about exploring those fundamentals of energy,
It has.
the challenges,
The challenges,
and those exciting possibilities that lie ahead.
they're definitely there.
And we've done it all through the lens of a children's book,
We have.
which, to me, speaks volumes about the power of clear communication and engaging storytelling. It also highlights that even though this is, a complex topic,
Right.
learning about energy shouldn't be intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be an adventure.
It can, just like this book makes it out to be.
An adventure we all need to be a part of.
We do.
You, with your interest in, mentioned listeners' specific interests related to energy,
Yeah.
you're already ahead of the curve.
But we all have a role to play in shaping this sustainable energy future, right?
We do. This deep dive has, hopefully given you a solid understanding of how energy works,
It has.
where it comes from,
Right.
and how we can use it more wisely, right?
Absolutely.
So now it's about taking that knowledge
Yeah.
and putting it into action.
I got it.
What really struck me was that idea of an energy patrol from the book.
Oh, yeah, the Energy Patrol.
Why not apply that to our own lives?
I love that.
We could be our own energy patrols.
Like you could.
Looking for ways to reduce waste and make smarter choices.
Exact.
Whether it's advocating for renewable energy in your community.
Yes.
Or just making a conscious effort to conserve energy at home.
Right.
Every action counts.
Every action counts. And remember, it's not just about, saving money on those energy bills.
Right.
It's about preserving our planet.
It is.
For the future, for future generations.
This brings us to that thought-provoking question
Oh.
that the book kind of subtly raises.
Yeah.
What role do you want to play in shaping the future of energy?
It's a big one.
Will you be like a passive consumer?
Right.
Or will you be an active participant in creating a more sustainable world?
It's a choice we all face.
It is.
And the answer, well, it's in our hands.
It is.
Yeah.
This children's book has given us such a unique perspective.
It has.
This reminder that complex issues can be broken down
They can.
into understandable concepts.
Yeah.
And that even those small actions, they can create a ripple effect.
They can. Sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected sources.
Like a children's book about energy.
I know, right? Who would have thought?
It really just goes to show that learning is a lifelong journey.
It is.
And it can be fun.
It can.
And engaging no matter where it comes from.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into energy, I want to leave you with a sense of hope and empowerment.
I love that.
We have the knowledge.
We do.
We have the technology.
We do.
And we have the collective power to create a brighter, more sustainable future.
We do. Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep those energy-saving ideas flowing.
Maybe you'll even be inspired to build that water mill.
Oh, in your backyard.
In your backyard. Wouldn't that be a conversation starter?
It would. Until next time, stay curious and stay energized.